Hi everyone, Tam's here. A little something different today. I actually have a very special 10-year-old in my life who is my biggest supporter on YouTube, and he gives me advice often on things I should try and do differently. So, per his request, I am going to try something a little different. I'm going to try a tea chat Tuesday. I noticed that these types of videos are quite popular, and it may be a good way for me to address a lot of things that come up and just get it all consolidated into one video. So, here is our first Tea Chat Tuesday. So, grab your cup of tea and let's chat. So let's recap the week really quickly. Summer officially began, and we had the summer solstice, and there was a new moon this past weekend. And I know a lot of you out there like to set intentions on new moons, and I think the new moon that occurs along the same times as summer is a great time to look back at the year that's passed us by, what's happened so far this year, and then maybe look ahead and set some goals, intentions, whatever for the second half of the year. So that's kind of what I did. So it was a fun week to do some of those things, and I was able to really think about what I was able to accomplish the first half of the year and think about what I'd still like to do the second half of the year. The most popular feedback I did get this week, there were a couple of things. A couple of people asked me if I am doing one book July, which is a very popular journaling topic that's coming up in July. I am not doing it, but I think it's really cool, and I enjoy watching a lot of you guys set up your journals. So if you're doing it, let me know. I do follow that One Book July hashtag where a lot of the videos are loaded up, and it's a lot of fun to watch when I'm just, you know how we do. We unwind, we watch videos, and look at Instagram pictures. So I do that all the time. So if you are doing it, I'd love to see what you're doing and check it out. So leave me a comment below. The other question I have been getting, if you follow me on Instagram, is I have been sharing a lot of photos of my creative space, and I'll pop in a few here so that you can get an idea of what has been going on. But yes, I have redone a little my creative space. I did a tour for you guys earlier this year, but a lot of my stuff was still kind of packed up, and I needed to do a good purge of supplies. So that has happened, and then I've been able to kind of open up some things that were closed in the past because they were not organized. And yes, so my creative space, I just wanted to prep it for the summer because I do have some summer projects that I want to be working on, and I wanted all my supplies to be right in front of me. So you may notice a little bit of a look. And then the third thing I've been getting feedback on, and thank you so much. I have only done a few vlogs in the past, but I have done some, and there are a handful of you that really like them. They do take a lot of time, as you know, and they weren't the most popular videos I've ever done, but I understand if you like them because I've enjoyed watching vlogs. But what I am doing is I am putting quite a bit of content on Instagram now, and I love Instagram stories. I love watching Instagram stories. So I am uploading to Instagram stories more of the type of content that used to be in my vlogs. So you'll see gardening updates. You'll see more of the pups for those of you that like the dogs. There's more shots of my workspace when it's really when it's actual state, which is very messy, because a lot of times we clean up little spots for our pictures and things. But if you really want to see what it looks like on an afternoon or an evening or on a weekend, I am sharing some shots of what's going on, what I'm working on, that sort of thing. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, feel free to follow me on Instagram stories. Okay, that's going to take me into my summer projects. Now, what happens here in Florida, I intentionally tried to make myself very busy this coming summer, because what happens in Florida is we have the rainy season and it is really hot, which makes it really hard to go outside. It's hard to do anything fun in the garden other than just your maintenance, and you have to cut the grass every week and you have to clip and weed and clean up. And once you're done with that, that's pretty much eaten into your garden time. And so there's not a whole lot of being outside, which normally makes me very happy. So I end up spending a lot of time inside. And in the past, that can kind of make me a little depressed. I think a lot of my friends that live in colder climates, they go through something similar in the winter. And I have noticed a pattern. I've lived in Florida for over 10 years, and I have noticed that July and August can sometimes get me down. So I've prepared and I have intentionally given myself quite a bit of projects this summer. Now, does this mean I have to finish them all? No. These are all just creative projects or things that make me happy. They're like prompts for me so that in the evening when, all of our life responsibilities are done and we're finished with the work day and, the dishes are done or whatever, I can come in my little studio, and even if I want to be in here 2 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, I have set up little projects for me to work on to make sure I keep those creative juices going. So I'm going to share with you what's been happening, and I have been sharing a lot of this on Instagram, and some people have been asking questions. So the first and easiest project is what I'm calling the Altered Rolodex project, and I don't know how many of you know what a Rolodex is. I think most of my viewers are old enough to know what a Rolodex is, but I had this old one, and it was just sitting there when I was purging. I didn't want it to go to waste, and I had noticed several really neat people posting these altered Rolodex cards on Instagram, and I'll link below some of my favorites where I got the inspiration from. But each day I'm coming in and I'm taking a Rolodex card, and I'm pretty much just using scraps of paper, little bits and bobs that I like but don't know what to do with, and I'm altering sorry about the glare. I'm altering the Rolodex cards, and I try to do one a day. And on Saturdays, what I do is I do a quick flip through video on Instagram stories to keep myself accountable. Now, I started this in June. The goal is to do it June, July, and August. And I've actually had someone swap with me. So my first swap occurred this past week, and that was pretty exciting. There was a young lady in Portugal exchange cards with me. So, and again, I capture that on Instagram because this is just fun little things. This takes me maybe 2 to 5 minutes. I grab the card, I just grab whatever scraps are in front of me, and I make something. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's mine. Yes, I am sharing it on Instagram, but I don't have to. And I find that it's a great little daily exercise to get your creative juices flowing, and I'm really enjoying it. So, the other thing I am doing, I know I have had several people ask me about, I used to share all the time my Midori layouts, and I do Midori flips, and I did the weekly layouts. I still am doing that. I don't share it as much anymore because I've been exploring with different techniques and stuff, and a lot of them have been flops. But if you are interested, sometimes on Saturday mornings I do share just a little quick view of my Midori. It's usually in the background on my workspace somewhere. So for those of you that liked that, it's still there. I just feel like there's a ton of videos that are out there for inspiration. I like to watch them, and I feel like I put enough out there already. But let me know if you are interested in more of that. I feel like maybe people aren't so interested in that anymore, but part of this tea chat is to get your feedback, and I'd like to know what you think. The third project I have, now these are things that are just laying out around my workspace, and I can just grab them and work on them as I go. And I've already shared a video on this. I will link it somewhere up here. I am working on an everything journal. So here is that journal. No rhyme or reason, not a lot of thought to it, but I'm enjoying it. And I just maybe put a little something in it every day. Sometimes I skip a day. It's not that big. There's quotes, there's recipes, there's stationery, bits and bobs, there's stamps. Again, no rhyme or reason. I don't want to make this hard, but I have that going on. And then for those of you that have been following me for a little while, you may know that Paper Tams, I started out, I teach little classes here and there for fun, promoting letter writing or anything that justifies putting pen to paper. And I have done a couple of classes this year, not that many, I just haven't had time. But I do have one coming up in July that I'm preparing for. So I often share little sneak peeks of my packaging and the goodies that go into kits, because a lot of people have expressed some interest in that. And I'll be sharing with you as that event comes closer. I'll share with you some more details. That's pretty exciting, and I'm looking forward to it. It's something different. And then I've already got some people talking to me about doing another event, another type of event in the fall. And it does involve moon gardening. So I'll keep you posted on that. Also this summer, I'm going to take advantage of a lot of friends being off, and I'm going to meet up with a couple of pen pals and do some things with them, and that's going to be exciting. There'll be some stationery shops that we'll visit, and maybe some hauls in there and that kind of thing, if you like that. And I have mentioned in the past that I am part of the Tampa Letter Writers group, and we've got some fun things in the works that we're planning, and I'll be sharing that with you as well. So as you can tell, I'm going to be quite busy, so that's what's been going on with me. I would like to say that am going to do more videos, and I think I'm going to try to do more videos. The only thing is that this first half of the year has been quite busy. I do have a new full-time job that I started back at the end of 2016. That, of course, is first priority. Family is first priority. And I did have an obligation where I had to help one of my former freelance clients get through their season, which has lasted up until this weekend. So I hope to be transitioning out of that and handing that off to someone that's much more capable and can provide the time. And that may free up a little more time for me to do a little more on YouTube. And I do want YouTube to be more how-to. I get so many requests with people asking me how I made this and how I made that. And those videos do take quite a bit of time. Those of you that have ever done any videos, you know that they take a lot of time, but I enjoy them, and I enjoy YouTube. YouTube itself is a creative outlet for me, and as long as it's fun for me, I will do it. And then I'll wrap up. I thought maybe I'd share maybe a favorite stationery find. If you guys know me by now, my channel, I'm not like a true journal channel. I'm not a true letter writing channel. I'm a little bit of everything and anything that involves putting pen to paper, stationery, paper crafting, all of that. So I thought I would share with you one of my favorite stationery finds. One of my pen pals sent me this wonderful postcard a few weeks ago, and I absolutely loved it. And I wanted to know where she got them from, but she had sent me one of these Women in Science postcards, and I loved it. So I did find them. There's a whole box of them, 100. There's 50 different images, and there's 2 each, so I am able to keep one for myself and then share with pen pals. So I'm really excited about that find, and I thought I would share that with you. If you are interested in such a thing, let me know. I'll link it below, but I found these on Amazon. So as far as where I get my supplies, I do have people ask me that. I get them from wherever. I'm just like you. I'm trying to save money. So I use my coupons. I check deals. I have the Hobby Lobby, Joanne, and Michael's apps on my phone, so I check their weekly flyers. I have their 40% off coupon. I check Amazon. And then I save up for the splurges where I visit the nicer locally owned higher end stationery stores, and I do save up for those, and I try to plan out those purchases because this is a hobby of mine and I enjoy it. And yeah, I'm probably just like you, but I am trying to use up what I have at all times. That's why I do kind of funky things like this altered Rolodex card project and everything journal, and I tend to gravitate toward collages and mixed media and things like that. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'd love to get your feedback on this type of video and if you are interested in this sort of thing. And I will try to do one every Tuesday and try to keep it a little more concise next time. So, thanks for joining me. Bye.